an audio glitch. Let's see if this is better. It was picking up my Bluetooth, which was random. Hopefully that problem has subsided, and we're no longer having that issue. So we'll see. As folks load in, which I know everyone needs to get out of the old stream and into the new, but please let me know if you can hear me okay, if that problem is solved. Man, my hair is everywhere. I washed it tonight, so it is everywhere. And by the way, I announced this the last one. This is my favorite bar in San Pedro, the Sardine. I'm wearing a sweatshirt for the Sardine, and it's because it's my favorite bar in my neighborhood, and I also filmed part of my movie there. Part of Left It Wall was filmed at the Sardine in San Pedro, California. And Lucy is chatty because she gets her dinner kind of soonish, and she knows it. She knows that it's almost time for her dinner, so this won't be super long. But Lucy, come here, Luce. Come here. Is the audio better? We had some messed up audio because it was coming through my Bluetooth, so I had to fix that. But it should be fixed now. So yeah, as you guys trickle in here, let me know if the audio is better. Lucy, come here. Come here, Luce. Come here. Come here. Yeah, there we go. There we go. She gets it. Hi, Lucy. She's gonna be hungry soon. It's about it's near that time for her dinner. She knows it. She might not stay because she's like, nope, feed me. What are you doing? Time for me to eat. I want food. Right, Lucy? It's time for your food. And she gets her medicine at night too, which she's not a fan of, but you know, we just kind of sprinkle it on top of her food. Right, Lucy? We have to sprinkle it on top of your food because you got pretty slick and you figured out how to eat around it when we just put it in there. So now we have to sprinkle it. It's like Parmesan cheese. Peace, Dove. What's up? Am I coming in? Is the audio okay? Say hi, folks. I can't see who's all watching because this is a vertical stream. This is a new product from the YouTube. And I think they've only had this like a week or so now. And I've done like, I think this is my third or fourth one. If you don't, I don't count the last one where the audio was messed up and we had to stop. Okay, audio's coming in good. All right, cool. Yeah, so last stream, like, it was barely audible because it was coming in through my Bluetooth. So my earbuds that were across the room were picking up the audio. So it just sounded, yeah, I'd imagine it sounded pretty bad. I'm going to go ahead and delete that one, that stream. It was just, 3 minutes of me trying to figure out what the hell was going on. Long Beach, what's up, buddy? How are you? Good to see you. Lucy's here. She says hello as well. So Biden got the nomination, you guys. How can you say our democracy is having any issues when the sitting president can win a primary he didn't know he was in? I mean, come on. Like, everything's going great. Doesn't get much better than that. This is an orange juice drink, by the way. There's a lot of orange going on between my sweatshirt. This is a yellow sweatshirt, actually, but I feel like it looks kind of orange in the lighting. And then I have an orange juice. I have orange hair. Lucy's a black cat. We basically got a Halloween thing going on. Oh, I like it. Smash the like button. 3 minutes of what the heck is going on. That's what the last stream was. Yeah, that was the last stream. It was just 3 minutes of what the heck is going on. I mean, it's this stream too. What the heck's going on? People slowly filter in. We chat. It's fun. This is my. I think is this my third or my fourth one of these? I don't count the tech glitch of the earlier one. That does not count. That was a false start. That was a mulligan. That was a redo of the down. I don't know how many more I can do on that. Lucy, you're shedding a little bit. Lucy's starting to shed a little bit more because it's getting warmer here in Southern California. And she got a new oh, this is my third. There you go. Third one. But yeah, Lucy's starting to shed a little bit more because it's getting warmer here in Southern California. So she's shedding a little bit more. And she doesn't like her new brush. I don't know why. I don't know if it's me, like maybe it's not. But she got a new brush and it's a really nice one, but she doesn't like it. She gets really fussy when I have to brush her. And she gets a treat right after she gets brushed because, why shouldn't she? I should give her a treat for the privilege of brushing her. It's like, thank you for allowing me to do this thing that makes your life better. Now I better give you a treat for letting me do this. Thank you. But yeah, she gets a treat right after she's always all about that part. She's ready for that part. But she gets a little fussy with the new brush. I don't know what it is. She's just a little fussy with the new brush. Just a little fussy for the new brush. What's up, Jesus? What's up, Fart Inhaler, Peace Dove, Long Beach? Good to see everybody. Warm. It's been freezing and cloudy here in the Inland Empire. Really, it's been warm out here in the South Bay. I mean, it was like 60s today, 60s, 70s. It was warm out here, and we don't get as warm as the Inland Empire does. We're typically colder, I think. But I guess it depends on what part of the IE. She might be. Lucy might be. Yep. There she goes. Jason, what's up, man? How are you? Good to see you. How you been? Yeah, we're just kind of chilling, talking about that. They announced it. It was breaking news. Although I don't think did it come as news to anyone? But yeah, Joe Biden got it. It was a really close. It was a really close contest. Who all was there? I mean, we had. Did anyone drop out, by the way? Like did any of the Democratic... I honestly did not pay much attention because I knew they weren't going to have a primary. And I also wasn't really impressed by any of the candidates. I mean, I guess I like Marianne Williamson the best out of that bunch. But, I mean, there was, Dean Phillips, Cenk Uygur. It's like... I heard that. Yeah. Anyway, I've spoken many times about Cenk Uygur's things. Oh yeah, Marianne Williamson. That's right. She did that. She dropped out and then she came back. The uncommitted voters convinced her she's got to bounce back in. That's right. I forgot about that. And then I guess did Dean Phillips ever drop out, or was he just in it for the duration? That guy. I don't know what that guy was thinking. That guy could not handle a YouTube interview. He lost his shit in an interview with a YouTuber, and he thought he was going to take on the DNC. Like anyone who's already holds office, if they were going to run for president in this primary, they would have had to have been willing to just commit political suicide. Like, I'm just going to go for the gullet, and I'm going to go for the Hail Mary, and I'm just going to go for it. Because it's what has to be done, and I don't care about the consequences. Dean Phillips was the opposite of all that. You never even heard. He was in the thing. Dean Phillips was in the race. He was running for president. He holds office in Minnesota. And, I mean, he did come out for Medicare for All, so a couple people kind of turned their heads, and they were like, oh, cool, he's for Medicare for All. But Nicole, you're at an open mic? That's awesome. Crush it. Do good. Bring the funny. I actually thought about going to an open mic tonight myself. I didn't, though. I was out some today, so I kind of just laid low, did some writing stuff tonight. But I actually thought about going to an open mic myself. Maybe I'll stream from one of those. I'll, hang out in an open mic streaming and be like, all right, I'm going to do my set. But yeah. Joe ran a great race. He elbowed out RFK like a KC roller skater. RFK is running as an independent. RFK tried to run as a Democrat. Then he tried to run as a libertarian. Now he's running as an independent. And who knows? I mean, he might be a Republican next year. Who knows? RFK is just sampling all the wares. That RFK. I'm not a fan, if you couldn't tell. I don't understand people who don't see through RFK at this point. I mean, he gave you a million and five red flags. This is an orange juice drink that I'm really enjoying. It's a little bit of soda water and orange juice. It's a very tasty concoction. Very, very tasty concoction. Then who else was in the? Yeah, so I don't think anyone. I know that Cenk Uygur eventually dropped out. Like he announced he was suspending his campaign. That like okay, but that was about like I did. Yeah, Marianne Williamson dropped out, came back. I don't think Dean Phillips ever dropped out. I don't think he was ever really in it either. Now what about uncommitted? Is uncommitted? Did uncommitted concede? Did uncommitted give Joe Biden a concession speech? Did uncommitted, like be like, well, a lot of people just preferred anything else, but I'm gonna go ahead and concede this race to a human. I'm just an idea. I'm just a concept, and people preferred the concept. We'd rather just not sign up for this. That's what the masses said. Well, not the mass, but you know what I mean. A large portion of people just said, we'd rather just not do this. That's like the best. I think uncommitted should be an option in every race, primary, general, all of them. And if it gets more than, say, like 30%, or, well, no, we can up it. Let's call it 50. Let's say 50. If it gets more than 50% of the vote, you just got to start all over again with different people. Sorry. You just, half the country showed up to say, no, none of this. Not having it. So, like, all right, well, we gotta just start all over again and do something else. That's what we should do. Collective consciousness is like one big brain fart. I don't know if I know what you mean by that. What do you mean by that exactly, Teresa? I mean, I like it, but I don't know what is that in reference to. Are you happy Joe Biden is is the nominee? Just a non-existent primary. I don't ever remember like a primary ever being this non. Lucy's back, by the way. Here, Lucy, be careful. Don't knock over the phone. Come here. Come here. Hi, sweetheart. Just disappointed in the collective. Yeah, welcome to the U.S. I just, I mean, like, yeah, I feel you. I'm pretty disappointed with the way things are right now too, and I'll be honest. I was a little more hopeful about like 7 years ago. Like I really like after 2016 happened. And like the Bernie Sanders campaign just ignited so many people. I really thought we were all going to kind of take a unifying turn in a better direction, and then it just all went to shit. I mean, it just completely went to shit. And now I kind of feel like the bad guys won. If that makes sense. Like I mean, there's this like huge right wing rise, just around the world, not even just limited to the U.S. But it's like there's this bizarre, like right wing uprising right now in the United States, even more right wing than before. We're already, one of the most conservative countries out there. Out of any like pseudo democratic experiment, we're like the most conservative country. And like we're getting nuttier. Like we're going further. It's something to behold. It is something to behold. It really is. And it's happening everywhere. It's not just unique to us. It's just we really turn it up to 11. We really freaking turn it up to 11 because when your Overton window is one where it's not even a unified idea that everyone should have health care, that people shouldn't fucking die on the street without health care, when that's not a unified idea, when stuff like education isn't a right. So, yeah, you know. So that's a thing. That's a thing. You're giving your dog morphine. I didn't know you could give a dog morphine. I know you can give a person morphine. I've had it before. I was sick. It wasn't for recreation. I was very sick, and they gave me morphine. It was actually when I was in high school. I was in a hospital once. For I had a really bad case of mono. um, I don't know how. I still don't know how I got it. It's your mom's hospice. Oh, okay. I'm sorry to hear that. Hmm. I might ask why you're giving it to your dog, but I don't wanna pry. Um, does the dog need it? But anyway, yeah, when I had morphine, it was because I was sick in the hospital with mono. And by the way, I still don't know how I got it because the big thing with mono, or at least this was the case when I was younger, is it's the kissing disease. You get it from kissing someone that has it. But the only person I was kissing at the time was my girlfriend at the time, and my girlfriend never had it. Like she never got mono. So, Tom, what's up, man? My neighbor's two cats are named Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll. That's awesome. That's cool. She's Lucy, but she tells sex, drugs, and rock and roll hello. I'm sorry to hear that, Teresa. I'm sorry to hear that. That's really hard. That is really, really hard. It's hard. It's hard when your fur babies get old. It's really, really hard. I know when Lucy got sick a couple years ago, I was a freaking wreck. And she's doing better now, but she's gonna be 18. She'll be 18 in a couple months. So you know how that goes. You know how that goes. So what's up, guys? Feel free to say something. I know there's not a lot of people watching, and it's kind of late, but feel free to leave a chat. Feel free to ask a question. Give me some thoughts. This isn't gonna be super long because I gotta feed my baby girl here. Lucy's got to eat dinner soon. Um, but yeah, I figured I'd be like, I'll go live because tomorrow is my day over at Status Coup. So I also wanted to mention, be sure you're watching Status Coup tomorrow because that is my day. Also, some of you may already know this, but there's a virtual screening of my movie coming up Friday night. So if you do not have plans Friday night, you can catch a virtual screening of my movie over Zoom. I'm going to be there. Some of the other cast members are going to be there. There's going to be a short stand-up show, a Zoom stand-up show. And there's going to be a screening of the film and then a Q&A after. And it starts at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. And yeah, you can just email me if you want to attend. It's not listed on my website. It's just email me if you want to attend. And basically, it's just a $5. $5 for non-patrons. Patrons, it's free. If you're one of my patrons, it's already free. But for everyone else, it's $5. No one will be denied due to lack of funds, but it's $5. And yeah, just email me. Just email me. And then I got some other events coming up. I'm going to be in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, March 22nd. Get your tickets, Pittsburgh. Show, screening, and Q&A. April 14th, Los Angeles, California. That's our big LA screening. We're doing a show, screening, and Q&A. And June 8th in Idlewild, California. Don't wait. Get your tickets, ronplacone.com. And there's going to be a free screening in Washington, D.C. on March 18th. I'm not actually going to be at that one. All the other ones I mentioned, including the Zoom one, I'm going to be at. But the one on March 18th, I'm not actually going to be there. It's just this film club in Washington, D.C. is sponsoring a screening of the film, but I will not physically be present. But it's free. So if you're in Washington, D.C. and you're like, I want to see Ron's movie, go see it. Tell me how the event is. Right, Lucy? She gets it. She's such a good cat. I was out a lot today, so she was, how can they announce the nominees already? Illinois and other states didn't vote yet. As someone from Illinois, I voted early via mail. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess because I was asking, I was like, did anybody drop out? Sorry, the thing almost fell because Lucy jumped on the table. This is just my phone, folks. This is for anyone who is new here. This is a vertical stream, which is a new product from the YouTube. This is they're just unrolling the vertical streams, and this is my third one of these. Fourth, if you count the one where the audio was fucked up, but I don't count that. That happened a little bit before this one. The audio was messed up. So how can they announce it? I guess he just had enough that like he's the guy because it didn't seem like anyone dropped out. Like I don't think Cenk Uygur dropped out. But Marianne Williamson did not drop out to my knowledge, and neither did Dean Phillips. And there were a bunch of other in my ballot in California. Well, not my ballot because I'm a Green, but like the ballot in California, I saw a Democratic ballot, and there was all kinds of there were names I didn't even recognize on that freaking ballot. Cenk Uygur wasn't on it. It's right. Like Cenk Uygur wasn't there, but there were other random people in California. You're still in Ojai. I hope you can make it to the Idlewild screening, Teresa. Either LA or Idlewild. I hope you can make it for one of them. It's either going to be, April 14th for LA and June 8th for Idlewild. I hope you can make them. Jill Stein was the only candidate for the Greens. You either had to do Jill Stein or you had to write somebody in. I voted for Jill, and I'll vote for Jill again in the general. I wish Jill Stein and Cornel West would team up, but I don't think it's gonna happen, unfortunately. I wish it would, but apparently there was some bad. I don't know if I'd say bad blood, but there was some differences or something. I mean, I don't know. I wish Cornel West was still running as a Green. I don't agree with his decision to not do that. It's a bummer. But yeah, I would love to see the two of them get together. I honestly think if the two of them teamed up, they could get 5%. I could be wrong. They might not, but I think they would have a shot at getting 5%. He was having to jump through too many housekeeping hoops. Are you talking about Cornel West and the Green Party? Because I've heard people say that. And my honest question is, what was he having to jump through? I don't like I've heard that from different people, and I've asked the same question. I was like, well, what hoops do you mean? Like somebody said this to me. They said, "What's up, R. Bruce? How are you? Greetings from Australia." Like, what was he having to do with the Green Party that was so, like taxing? And some people said, well, he had to. The platform was not exactly what he would want. It's like, well, hold on, he's running in a primary. Like somebody said, his platform couldn't be what he wanted it to be with the Green Party, and my response to that was, I was like, okay, a platform is just words on a website. Let's be honest, like that's what it is. A platform is just words on a website. And sure, it's important. It's good that if you're running for office, people know what you plan to do if you get in office. But it's also just words on a website. So Cornel West can have any type of platform he wants. He can do any platform he wants. And then if he's running in a Green Party primary, the Green Party can vote for him or not. So like I don't know, like whenever I would hear that where he's like, oh, well, he had to go through all these hoops, like what? Like what did he have to do that he wouldn't have to do anyway? Guess what? When you're running for president, you have to be very visible. You have to be out there and very visible. So I don't understand his decision to leave the Greens. It doesn't make sense to me. It definitely screwed him over for ballot access. But maybe meet with people supporting instead of people he wanted to reach was a waste of his inspiration being 70 energy limited. Maybe meet with people supporting instead of people. Well, but you have to get more people to support you. Like he can't just meet with people who are already into him. That's not how running for president works. I mean, if you're gonna do that, just do a speaking tour. Like, just go on a speaking tour. Don't run for president. When you run for president, you have to reach people who, he wants to start a movement. You don't need to run for president to do that. Most movement leaders throughout history had nothing to do with electoral politics. Some did, but most didn't, especially in this country. I mean, I hear you. Like, I'm not, I just, yeah, when people would say that, I just didn't get it. I'm like, I don't understand. And I would love to talk to Cornel West himself about it. I've been trying to get an interview with the guy, but, he's a hard guy. He's a hard guy to get a hold of. But yeah, I still just don't understand the choice. I don't understand the choice. The movement starts when people grow their own food. Yeah, I think you're right at this point. I wish that wasn't the case, but I think you're probably right. And I'm kind of fucked because I really suck at growing food. um, yeah, leaning towards Jill Stein as long as she doesn't turn out to be a warmonger like Howie Hawkins. Well, she never has been, so I don't know why she would start now. I mean, Jill Stein's been an anti-imperialist her entire career. And I think for the most part, Howie Hawkins is too, but he had a few, I mean, he definitely had a few not so great takes when he was running for president. I don't know if I'd say he's a warmonger, but I would say he had some pretty weak foreign policy takes. There were some, he might have been watching the MSNBC a little too much or something like that. But I think warmonger's a bit harsh. I'm almost out of this drink too, which bums me out. Oh, somebody wants her dinner. Somebody wants her dinner. It's about that time. Yeah. I was gonna go out tonight, but I decided not to. It's really what this comes down to. I was gonna go out, get a little stage time, but yeah, I was pretty tired. The New York Times. Oh yeah, sunflowers. Love this question. The New York Times has reported that Aaron Rodgers and Jesse Ventura top RFK Jr.'s list for running mates. Thoughts? I like what I think W. Kamau Bell actually posted this. He's like, man, and here I was worried he wasn't taking this seriously. Aaron Rodgers, come on. Are you kidding me? The guy whose big MO is how the Super Bowl is fixed. That's the guy. I do not care for RFK. I think he is a parody of a parody. He is pro Wall Street. He gets Wall Street money. He is an elite. He's always been an elite. He endorsed Clinton every opportunity he got his entire career. He's been a right-wing Democrat his entire career. He has no cohesive vision for the working class because he can't even relate to what it's like to be part of it. He has no plan for climate change. He is against single-payer health care. He is against Medicare for all. He is an imperialist. RFK is an imperialist. He has done some good environmental legal work in the past, many, many years ago. Now he thinks the free market can fix climate change. So yeah, I don't understand. I know that his ridiculous takes on Israel Palestine have finally allowed some people to see him for what he is. Finally, I don't know why it took people that long, but whatever. Thank goodness you're here. But man, that guy. So yeah, and I feel bad. I mean, I like Jesse Ventura. I'm really sad to see Jesse Ventura fall for this guy. Honestly, I mean, I'm really and I was sad to see Dennis Kucinich affiliate with him, and then continue. It seems like Dennis still speaks highly of him, which yeah, I get that they're friends. But I mean, I have some friends who I have significant political differences with. They're my friends, but I wouldn't frickin' manage their campaign. I have friends who have completely different politics than I do. And, some we talk about it, we debate sometimes. They're still my friends. I accept them for who they are and vice versa. But if they ever ran for office and said, "Hey, Ron, will you manage my campaign?" I'd say, "No." No. Because I'm sorry, I'm not on board with what you're doing. You know? I mean, I guess if they were like a good person and they were running for like school board or something, and I feel like they would be a good school board person, even though our politics are different, they would still do a good job on the school board and they have good intentions and they wouldn't do something crazy like try to ban books or whatever. Maybe I would vote for them. I still wouldn't manage their campaign, although I don't think school board has campaign managers. Pretty sure that's not a gig. If it is a gig, I guarantee it's not paid. But yeah, maybe I would vote for them because I'd be like, well, our politics are different, but I feel like they'll be a good school board member and they're my friend. But I certainly wouldn't manage their campaign. I think I'm over explaining the point. You guys get it. Yeah. Stein is the only choice. I hear ya. It's a friend of mine. I was interviewing a friend of mine actually for the 1000 podcast, and he's over in the UK. And so he was asking about, like, well, are people kind of just feeling like, well, Biden's terrible, but Trump's even more terrible? And is there? And I was like, there's no consensus, dude. Like there's people are all over the place on that one. People are all over the frickin' place. And it's just I actually when it comes to this, whether it's Hillary or Joe Biden, I think Jill Stein put it best, and I've quoted this for years now. And this is a paraphrase of what she said back in 2016, and I think it was right then and it's right now. I'm not going to say they're not different at all. I'm going to say they're not different enough, and that's the freaking problem. That's the freaking problem. When you're telling people, hey, you got a choice between no healthcare or no healthcare, between endless war or endless war, between no living wages or no living wages, between, like authoritarian police state or authoritarian police state. Like, well, gee, what kind of freaking choice is that? And we keep saying lesser of two evils, lesser than two evils, and the evils get worse and worse and worse. And that's what's been happening since like 1980, maybe even longer. And I'll say this, man, I would be singing a different tune if it went the other way. Like if we kept voting lesser of two evils and the candidates got better, like that'd be different. I'd be saying the exact opposite of what I typically say. I'd be saying, guys, we got to vote the lesser two evils because if we vote the lesser two evils, the choices get better. But it doesn't. They get worse. They get worse for 40 years. We keep a lesser two evils. Oh, and then it gets a little more evil both ways. If it was the opposite, I'd be saying my show would be completely different all the time. Because I'd be like, guys, we vote the lesser two evils. They get better. No, it never worked that way. Not in as long as I've been alive. Yeah, Jesus was a vegetarian. I don't know how you would know that. How would you know that? That has to be a joke. I am conflicted on who to vote for president during the general. I mean, you know me. I don't tell people who to vote for. It's not my jam. Yeah, you just got to make a judgment call. I've had people, try to. Sometimes people like email me and they want me to kind of justify their vote, and I'm like, dude, I don't like. That's not really my place. I mean, because people are like, look, I'm gonna vote for Biden and da 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 da, and I'm like, okay, I get where you're coming from. I get it. And they want me to be like, well, I'm doing the right thing, right? I'm like, that's not my place to say. Like, or some people are like, I can't vote for Biden. I'm like, yeah, I get it. Like, well, my reason is blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. They're like, well, I'm like, that's just, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm just one vote just like you. That's it. And honestly, I mean, I guess I have it easier than some people because I don't live in a swing state. I live in a decided state. That's what I call safe states, by the way. I call them decided states because there is nothing safe about the Electoral College. It's a terrible thing that shouldn't exist. So there's nothing safe about living in a, quote, safe state. It's just a decided state. My state's going to go blue no matter what I do. Just like a Mississippi is a decided state that's going to go red, whatever you do. So I feel like when you live in a decided state, you might as well vote for the candidate who is most aligned with your values. And if that's a Democrat, vote for the Democrat. If that's a Republican, vote for the Republican. If that's third party, you should vote for that third party. You live in a state that's decided anyway. I live in California. My vote for president pretty much doesn't matter. Might as well vote for the green because then at least maybe I'll help the green get to 5%, you know? So for me, it's probably a much easier choice than somebody who lives in a swing state. I get that. I understand. You don't need to, you know, you don't need to justify your votes from me, no matter what. Jay Jay says Joe didn't take away abortion. Well, technically he didn't. The Supreme Court did. The Supreme Court did that. Most of the Supreme Court was appointed by presidents who didn't even win the popular vote. But Joe Biden himself recently said he doesn't. He's not even big on abortion rights. But yeah. But yeah, the Supreme Court did that, which that's an institution that needs to be abolished because most of the Supreme Court and Joe Biden did have, I mean, like I've said before, Joe Biden, the one thing that I got to tip my hat to is his FTC appointment and some of his other appointments. His FCC appointment, his FTC appointment. If it wasn't for Joe Biden's FTC appointment, there's a good chance we would have a merger between Kroger and Albertsons, which would be a ridiculous grocery merger that will monopolize our groceries and would probably, honestly, and I'm not even embellishing, lead to a lot of Americans starving. So I like Joe Biden as far as I can throw him. But the truth is that his FTC appointee is stopping that as of right now. And, you got to tip the hat where it's due. So thank goodness that's happening. I doubt Joe Biden as an individual had much to do with that decision, if I had to guess. But either way, I'm still glad it's a thing. I'm still glad that they're, suing to stop that from happening. So we'll see. But yeah, between the right cheek and the left cheek, yeah, no kidding. Roe v. Wade was decided by an all-male court. Yeah. Um. Well, then it was taken away. The Supreme Court isn't. Is it all? It's not all male right now, is it? Um. But yeah. Yep. We'll see. I mean, I live in California, so I don't have to worry as much as some states. But what is the most active socialist organization out there that is not just a flavor of Democrat? I don't know, to tell you the truth. I mean, look, I'll say this: I have friends that are involved with basically all of them, and I've heard good things about the PSL. I've heard some not so good things about the PSL. Same with the DSA. I've heard some good things about the DSA. I've heard some not so great things about the DSA. Um, my take is any organization you're going to find good and bad. If you're looking for things to not like about an organization, you'll find them. You'll find plenty of things that you're going to like and not like. I recently changed my registration from no party preference to green because living in a state like California, it makes no sense not to. In California, we pretty much have open primaries, we have jungle primaries. So there's no reason to be registered Democrat unless you want to actively be involved with the Democratic Party, or it's just represents your views, in which case, by all means, be a Democrat. But unless you want to actively be involved with the party, there's really no reason, to not register with a party that's more in line with your political views, because by doing so, you help keep them on the ballot. My no party preference registration isn't really doing much of anything. If I was registered Democrat, that wouldn't do much of anything either. Registering as a green, that helps keep them on the ballot. That's one more registration that helps keep them on the ballot because they need so many registrations to stay on the ballot. How did I get off on that based on your question? Oh, yeah. what made me go off on that based on your question automation, um, is that, I didn't join the Green Party because I think they're a perfect organization. They're not. And by the way, I have some firsthand experience that I can say they're not. Um, there's some ideas in the Green Party that I don't fully agree with. I can guarantee you, there's going to be some individuals in the Green Party that I have disagreements with. Some are going to have disagreements with me. That's life. But, as far as third parties go, they're the furthest along left wing party we got. It's a fact. And they're doing some good things, and I'd rather kind of be part of that, and try to, and try to give my take on things to try to help it. Like when I disagree with things, I'll vocalize it. When I agree with things, I'll vocalize that, and we'll see what happens. So so anyway, I guess just to make a long answer even freaking longer, I guess I would say do you, and find out where you're connecting with people, and find out which mission you're aboard with, and join up. And if you find some things about the organization that you don't like, and you probably will, that's how life works. Well, you know, try to make it better. Give your input. You know, I don't know. That's all I got. But yeah. Again, you can always go petition for municipal broadband. Yeah, I went to look up Bowen on SNL. Oh, I haven't seen SNL in forever. I have not seen SNL in so long. Not on purpose. Like, I'm not one of these people like, oh, SNL sucks. I'm more like, well, I don't even know because I haven't watched it in like forever and ever. I just never catch it. I never was into it as a kid. Like it just wasn't on my peripheral. So I just never got bit by that bug. And so I feel like it's kind of too late now. Um, but I have heard, I've caught a little bit of Jon Stewart's Daily Show. I watched the first one because people were freaking the frick out about it. And I was just so curious. I was like, I gotta see what everyone's freaking out about. And then I watched it and I was like, you're freaking out about this? He's having the nerve to suggest that maybe Biden and Trump aren't the best we have to offer. That's objectionable. Saying these two ridiculous choices. That was objectionable to people. Suggesting that maybe in both cases their faculties aren't all there. And guess what? In both cases, their faculties aren't all there. Like they're not. I mean, dude, like Biden is clearly not all there. And guess what? Neither is Trump. I mean, sometimes like people don't like. There's so much like Trump, like oh Trump, 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 Trump. I mean, there are people who talk about Trump to the point where you would think he never left office. And I get it. That's freaking tiring. So it causes other people to just completely ignore Trump altogether, which I get it. I mean, I don't talk about him much, to tell you the truth. But man, Trump's not all there. Like, dude, that guy is freaking out there. He will just straight up lie about stuff to his audience because he just wants the clapter. I mean, Trump is a by the book freaking narcissist. And he is not like, and I'm not one of these people. Like I don't get. I mean, Biden has been absolutely atrocious on foreign policy. He has been absolutely disgusting. And while I don't think Trump would be worse, Trump wouldn't be better. These people who make it out like Trump would be better on foreign policy, when you look at the straight up neocons he surrounds himself with, when you look at how he promised to end the wars and didn't do jack, and the one thing he did do, he eventually went back on, and I don't even think it was his choice. I think it was the people he surrounded himself with. Like this idea that Trump would somehow be better there than Biden, there's no actual evidence to indicate that that's the case, unless you want to look at his soundbite from 7 years ago when he said he was, like not going to be a warmonger. He did say it. Talk is cheap, especially when he didn't deliver that. He was dropping bombs. He frickin', he wanted to antagonize Iran. He probably would have started a war with Iran if it wasn't for the pandemic. So, yeah. Um, let's see. Captain Bone Spur versus Joe the Human Vegetable. Everything Trump does is the best. He does have all the best words. I'll give you that. They are both like big mouth cowboys. Yeah. Yeah, they're both something. Do I have any investments? Uh, I don't know if I really want to talk about my personal finances, but I hear you from the sentiment's sake. I wish people on the left would learn more about money and finances. I think it would be a game changer for working people. Well, I think, the left doesn't typically have a lot of money. I think that's kind of the problem. I mean, I can speak from like my experience here, and so like I'll use just my world as a for instance. I dwell in the world of show business. Hollywood, quote unquote, if it's even still a thing, which I think in many ways it's completely crumbling. But Hollywood is not left. Hollywood is very, very DNC neoliberal. That's Hollywood. And then there's also the right wing flank of Hollywood. So like the smallest group politically in Hollywood are lefties. There's pretty I mean, it's like we have like Susan Sarandon, Adam McKay. That's about it. Like there's a small handful. And then a small, like definitely left of liberal, folks like Danny DeVito, stuff like that. So it's like we got some, you know, but for the most part, it's like actual lefties are like by far the smallest group with the least amount of resources by far. I tried to have a 401k one time, then the 2008. Ooh, yeah, yeah, that's crazy. Lucy, what's up, Lucy? I guess I do have to go kind of soon because I have to feed Lucy. Sometimes sometimes she'll get a little grumpy when it's like late, and then she'll just sort of like pout. Like she'll just be like, "Well, the day finally came. The day finally came when my human forgot that I needed food. Woe is me. The human forgot that I like food. He just forgot." Cats are so interesting. So it's like they don't think like Lucy, and by the way, in many ways she's right, but Lucy thinks that she takes care of me. Like she basically like they think that they tend to you, and in many ways they do. But she, like whenever your cats inspect your food and stuff, like they're checking it for you because they think you're a big dummy who's gonna poison yourself. So they like check your food to make sure you don't poison yourself. And when they like put their paws up to your mouth, like they're worried you died because they're very light sleepers compared to us. So they'll just be like, "What? What? How did you sleep through that? Didn't you hear that spider? How are you still asleep?" And then they're worried that we're dead. So if you're a cat person and your cat ever gets like overexcited in the middle of the night, don't get mad about it cuz guess what? They're happy you're alive. They thought you died and you didn't. You slept successfully and they're just freaking happy about it. All right? Let them celebrate. Um Dude that played the Hulk in the Avengers movie, but it seems he nips his politics at the bud to keep acting. Guess he Oh yeah, Mark Ruffalo. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. I know he said some okay stuff in the past. I don't remember all the details though. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's like some actors with left. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty, and some of them are probably more vocal than others. But as far as like, the left doesn't have like straight up big studios and stuff like that. The right does. Like the right wing, like they have their representation in Hollywood because they literally have their own production studios, their own companies, their own movies. I mean, like look, like Ben Shapiro's putting out movies. That doesn't really happen on the left because we just don't have the deep pockets. The Koch brothers aren't giving the left money, so yeah. Feel fortunate as a retired union guy with a government backed pension. I'm personally set and I'm not selfish. Good for you, man. Good for you, Edwin. I will live vicariously. But yeah, that's why unions are a great thing. That's why unions are a great thing. Um, I like cats, but I'm terrified in an episode of when cats lose control and start ferociously scratching their owners. I've never experienced that. I've never ever experienced that, to tell you the truth. I mean, how do you think that's common? I don't think that's very common. I think most cats, like they love their humans. Cats pick you, which is actually pretty amazing. Like cats kind of choose you the same way you choose them. So yeah, I don't think. I mean, if a cat's feral or something, that's a different story. If you try to like capture a feral cat and that cat's not ready to be domesticated, and some cats, it's like I'm pretty sure all cats can be domesticated, but I think some it's just really really tough, and it may just never happen for them because like the amount of energy it would take is just too much. What's up, Chris Garrett? How are you, man? Looking forward to seeing you Friday. Thanks for smashing that like button. Follow Chris's lead, everybody, and smash, smash, smash the like button. I noticed that when I talk about cats, some people leave. What do you do? It's part of it. It's part of it. Buckle in. Guys, I do need to get going here because I need to feed Lucy. But thank you all for the chat. Thank you, Edwin. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Automation. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you, Jethro. Thank you, Sunflowers. Thank you, Long Beach. Thank you, Samuel. Yeah. And if I didn't, thank you, R. Bruce. Hope all's well. Thank you, Tom. Yeah. Thank you, Nicole. Hope the open mic's going well. Thank you, Jason. Good to see you. Thank you, Fart Inhaler. Thank you, Peace Stuff. Yeah. Guys. Yeah. Right on. Cat People United. Guys, let me announce some stuff. First of all, tomorrow, tune in to Status Quo. I'll be hosting Status Quo tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific. I don't even know what we're gonna talk about yet because the news has gotta like hit the shelves tomorrow. But I'll be hosting Status Quo tomorrow. Some events coming up. March 15th, I have a screening. It's a virtual screening on Zoom. If you want to attend, email me. March 18th, there's a free screening of my movie in Washington, D.C. It's just a screening. I won't actually be there. But if you're in Washington, D.C., you can go see my movie for free on March 18th. Details are on my website. March 22nd, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Show, screening, and Q&A. Can't wait to see you, Pittsburgh. Get your tickets now. April 14th, Los Angeles, California. Show, screening, and Q&A. June 8th, Idlewild, California. Show, screening, and Q&A. Tickets, all information, romplacone.com. Guys, thanks for hanging out. It was good to see you. Good to hang with you. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow over on Status Quo. And I'll be doing more of these. This is fun. I like these. I like these vertical streams. Thank you for that, the Self-Care Maven. I appreciate that. I hope to see you on the next one of these, and I hope to see you on Status Quo tomorrow. Yeah, this is fun. I like doing these. I got burnt out of the old format, but these vertical streams. Although with the first stream tonight, the audio was fucked because it was coming through my Bluetooth, and so I got to be careful of that. Make sure that doesn't happen. But other than that, yeah, these are fun. So yeah, we'll be doing more of these. All right, peace, everybody.